They say it always starts small, a creak, a breeze, flicker of light. But for me, it started with a knock. I had just moved into my late grandfather's house, an old farmhouse buried deep in the woods. Quiet to quiet. The first night, I awoke to the sound. Knock, knock, knock. Soft hollow. Not from the door, not the window, but from inside the wall behind my bed. I lay still, listening. 3:33 a.m. I convinced myself it was a pipe, maybe a mouse, anything. But the knocking returned the next night, and the next, always at exactly 3:33. On the fifth night, I opened my eyes at the sound, and this time I wasn't alone. She stood at the corner of the room, motionless, a long white dress, dark hair hanging like wet roots, and a face I couldn't quite see. My breath caught in my throat. I couldn't scream, couldn't move. She stared at me or through me. I blinked and she was gone, but I didn't sleep again. I started noticing the clock, not just at night, but everywhere. Receipts, bus numbers, microwave timer, 3:33. One night I unplugged every clock in the house. No time, no numbers. Still, knock, knock, knock. I stayed awake, sat on the floor with the lights on, and when the clock on my phone blinked 3:33, she walked through the hallway, not floated, walked. I could hear her bare feet dragging across the wooden floor. I finally built up the nerve to tear into the wall behind my bed. There was a room, sealed off, rotting wallpaper, a child's rocking horse, and a mirror. I stepped inside. My flashlight flickered, and then I saw her, not a reflection. She was standing inside the mirror, watching me, and she smiled. In the attic, I found a small locked trunk. Inside was a diary, not my grandfather's, a girl's. Margaret, 1963. She wrote about her dreams, her fears, the knocking. And one sentence, underlined 3 times. She only appears at 3:33, but once she speaks, you're already hers. I read until I couldn't breathe. The last entry, she lives in the mirror. She wants me to stay with her. I think I already am. It happened last week. I was in the shower. Steam filled the bathroom. And then on the mirror, I see you written in condensation. I wiped it clean. She was behind me, closer than she had ever been. And then she whispered in my ear, "Don't leave me." I ran. I left the house. I didn't even grab my shoes. But when I checked into a motel that night, 3:33, she was waiting. I've tried everything. Church cleansing, burning sage, even salt around the bed. She just laughs. When I turn off the lights, I hear her voice right beside me. Sometimes in front, sometimes above. I tried recording it, set up a camera, in the footage. I'm asleep, but she's there. First standing, then sitting on the bed, then crawling across the ceiling. At exactly 3:33, she leaned into the camera and smiled. Now the knocking has changed. It's not just knocks, it's scratching, whispering, crying. Last night, I pressed my ear to the wall. A little girl's voice whispered. She made me. I didn't want to stay. Then came the sound of nails clawing from the inside. I backed away as the wall cracked open, and then I looked through. I dug deeper. Old Town records. Margaret was 12. She disappeared in 1964. Her parents claimed she ran away, but an old article said her body was never found. The well behind the house. I went to it, opened the cover. There was something at the bottom, hair. I tried to leave again. New city, new phone, new everything. But every night at 3:33 a.m., I still wake up, not to knocking, not to voices. To my own voice whispering. She only appears at 3:33, but now I do too. I'm not alone in here anymore. I see her when I blink. I feel her when I breathe. And if you're hearing this now, if the clock just turned 3:33, she knows you heard her name, and she's coming for you next.